1. Recapitulation of history. 2 Chronicles begins with a recapitulation of the reign of Solomon, David's son, and his construction of the temple in Jerusalem. It then continues to detail the history of the southern kingdom of Judah, often neglecting the northern kingdom of Israel. 2. King-centered narrative. This book presents a king-centered narrative, focusing on the reigns of various kings of Judah. It evaluates each king's faithfulness to God and their impact on the nation. Kings who followed God's commandments and promoted proper worship were generally seen as successful, while those who strayed from God's ways faced challenges and adversity. 3. Solomon's temple and worship. 2 Chronicles dedicates significant attention to Solomon's construction of the temple in Jerusalem and the organization of worship within it. It describes the dedication of the temple, the role of the Levites, priests, and musicians, and the importance of maintaining proper worship practices. 4. Revivals and reforms. Throughout the narrative, there are instances of kings initiating religious reforms and revivals. Most notably, King Hezekiah and King Josiah are credited with significant efforts to purify and restore proper worship in Judah. These reforms aim to remove idolatry and return the people to God's covenant. 5. Assyrian and Babylonian exile. The book also covers the challenges faced by Judah, including invasions by the Assyrians and later the Babylonians. These events are seen as divine judgments for the nation's disobedience. The fall of Jerusalem and the exile to Babylon mark a significant turning point in Judah's history, emphasizing the consequences of straying from God's ways. 6. Return from exile. 2 Chronicles concludes with the decree of King Cyrus of Persia, allowing the Jewish exiles to return to Jerusalem and rebuild the temple. This return from exile is a symbol of God's faithfulness and restoration of His people. 7. Theological themes. Throughout 2 Chronicles, several theological themes emerge. These include the importance of faithfulness to God's covenant, the consequences of idolatry and disobedience, the role of proper worship, and the possibility of divine forgiveness and restoration. 8. Significance. 2 Chronicles serves as a companion to 1 Chronicles, providing an additional perspective on the history of Judah and the Davidic dynasty. It reinforces the theological lessons of faithfulness and obedience to God's commands while highlighting the central role of the temple in worship and national identity. The book also points toward the ultimate fulfillment of God's promises in the coming of the Messiah.